We have Aveekshith Bushan from Aerospike with us. Sir, we have seen a lot of new technologies coming on board, but the scale have also increased for the companies. So how do you look at this transformation in India?
India has been a very interesting case for us, right? Over the last 6-7 years that I've been working in this space for Aerospike, what we have seen is a lot of the companies that are setting shop here and the way they've transformed their business over these years is very, very interesting. I'll give you an example, right? You look at the UPI stack or the new things that are being built in the what is now being called as a digital currency that is being launched by the government or by the regulator, or also the ONDC platform that is being launched. All of these platforms, ABBA as well in the healthcare space, every one of this is creating an ecosystem where private companies can play. And if you look at the payments space as well, right, the likes of PhonePe and so on, they've transformed their business with the UPI infrastructure. So what has happened is all of a sudden a small company that was probably selling to a few, a bunch of customers that they're working with, now are working with millions of users. And customer experience becomes very critical. The kind of way that they're enabling payments to happen in real time becomes very important. So from our perspective, very excited about India because it's one of the few countries in the world where not just these private companies which are innovating, but the entire landscape is changing. And I think that is creating a requirement for a platform like Aerospike in a big way. And where we play is in areas like very high availability. The second area is where you have a requirement for growing data. It could be in terms of number of users, it could be in data volumes and so on. And also where, while you're doing that, you want to keep the cost low. Because gone are the days when you have a particular infrastructure working and you say, this is the infrastructure I keep for a while. Today we are saying we got to reduce the cost of what you currently have. So a lot of organizations that we work with, they come to Aerospike and they try to optimize their existing infrastructure and use other infrastructure for something else. So that's why we're very excited about India. The kind of use cases that we are solving here also is very exciting. So that's what we've been doing.
Can you tell us some of the use cases that you have seen a growth and potential in?
Sure, I already mentioned about the payment space where we were working with almost all the payment companies here, but a lot of other social media platforms like Koo and even companies in the online e-commerce space like Flipkart and so on, they're using us in a whole bunch of areas. Flipkart, for example, used us in an area where dynamic pricing of a particular inventory item had to be figured out and offered in real time. While you're browsing a particular item online, you want to figure out what's the right price point to offer that to a customer. Now that is very, very customized to your experience, the kind of things that you're looking for and so on. So that's one area. The other area is in the enterprise segment, the likes of IDFC Bank, Airtel. They use us in the context of Customer 360, a single view of customer across all their lines of business. Now that requires access to very large volumes of data, but secondly, the platform should never go down. So one of the things that Aerospike does really well is the lights are always on. You never have a case where somebody gets up in the night and sees what's happening with Aerospike. So we run all the time and the data is always consistent. So never is the case that a payment happened and you don't even know what happened to that. Is the data accurate? That's never a question that we ask. So these are the kinds of use cases that we've been working with in the India market.